Yo, what's going on? We got Billboard Breakdown Hot 100 April 5th, 2025. Yes, I'm late again. But it's okay. Just in case, I'm a little crazy, Sunset Boulevard. Just us. Let's go.
I'm Mark, in affiliation with Spectrum Pulse. As you can clearly tell, I'm on vacation. But it's Billboard Breakdown.
Where's bro at?
The tricky thing about Billboard Breakdown post-album bomb week, especially when I'm on vacation and the episode's already late because I have limited time and I'm really hoping I can pull this together fast, is that you're never quite sure how the Hot 100 is going to fall out, be it a gradual shift of the tide or something more scattered and messy. Rarely does it present a near-complete reset to normal, but that's kind of what I expected here in the aftermath of Playboy Cardi. I don't want to say the album came and went, but given the breadth of the album bomb, I'm a little bit surprised it didn't have more staying power, albeit not.
I'm not really surprised. I mean, it's 30 songs, right? Like,
it seems
not
like
all of it
Luther
can
by
fucking
Kendrick Lamar
stay.
SZA has a solid grip on the number one, returning to being the top spot on streaming, and now with a real radio surge behind it. I'm not
and the video got posted today.
Unseated. Certainly not "Die with a Smile" by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars at number 2, which is now in radio freefall despite holding the top spot and not particularly close to challenging on the streaming margins. And right behind it in recovery is a bar song "Tipsy" by Shabuzi at number 3.
What?
The song's strength and
why?
Due to Playboy Cardi's losses. But
oh my god.
Has been gradual and around the
just let it go, bro. Oh my god.
But then we got our first new entry in the top 10, "Just in Case" by Morgan Wallen at number 4. And I guess I just need to accept that Morgan Wallen's big enough that it can seriously hammer the charts with every single new single, especially as the streaming and the sales are both there in spades. Even if the radio is a little slow to catch up this time, we'll get to why a little later on. Then, making some considerable gains, we got "Pink Pony Club" by Chappell Roan at number 5. I chalked this up to a radio push alongside stable enough streaming, but I'm not sure it can really surpass any margin to get that higher. Although, right alongside it is, oh god, how is this not gone already? "Lose Control" by Teddy Swims back in the top 10 yet again at number 6. Because the radio for this will not die, and the streaming is still mostly robust somehow. What might be the more credible challenger for the top is "Nokia" by Drake at number 7, although I'm not really sure it could make a run, even with the video. The radio's
no. I mean, this is old. This is an older video, but yeah, it is gonna make a run.
Higher. Granted, also back in the top 10 is "Beautiful Things" by Benson Boone at number 8.
What a shitty week.
Obnoxious streaming and radio stability that's also not going away.
God damn.
It should. And its return pushed back "Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar down to number 9.
I'm actually still surprised that's still top 10.
Despite the radio dumping it on Max. Finally,
like I thought that I didn't think like after the Super Bowl, I didn't think it would stay for that long. Like maybe like 1 or 2 weeks in the top 10 at most. But no, it's actually been pretty stable in the top 10. I mean, it's been falling a little bit, but I mean that's like kind of guaranteed.
Rose and Bruno Mars. And this one slightly confuses me. I think there may have been some sort of radio rebalance because I'm not seeing that much beyond the radio that would suggest a serious recovery. I guess that would make sense for the rest of the top 10, and it does have some degree of inertia there. Probable enough, I think. Now for our losers and dropouts. In the latter group, it's pretty much all just Playboy Cardi, and he accounts for the majority of our losers too. Outside of Sleep Token's Emergence sliding down to 84, and "The Giver" by Chappell Roan hitting 29, also off the debut.
Damn.
From Playboy Cardi, we got.
I wonder if that song's actually gonna be stable.
27.
"The
Good
Giver"
Credit with Kendrick Lamar at 60. "Backdoor" also with Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, I wouldn't really mind, but I don't really care for the song that much.
6. Crush and "Philly" with Travis Scott at 77 and 94 respectively. Like Wheezy at 87. Toxic with Skepta at 91. And Fine Shit at 98. Now, this would normally be kind of messy with our returns and gains, except here's
Man, I'm too messy,
every single
and then I'm
loss
too
last week
fucking
saw
clean.
gains this week. It's hard for me to see the point running through over a third of the chart here when I'm on vacation. The only cuts that saw a gain while not previously losing momentum were "I'm the Problem" by Morgan Wallen at 11, likely due to his songs this week. We will have to get to them. And from Alex Warren, "Ordinary"
Oh yeah, that song's
Funny
going
by
crazy
Smell
for
and
some
Adult
reason.
Alternative hit from here, and Burning Down at 83. We actually had considerably more returns.
That song's going crazy in the
West.
UK. I'm pretty sure it's
So
like
let's
already
start with
number
those
one.
with the longest prior run, those being 4x4 by You by Lainey Wilson at 89, Que Pasaria by Raul Alejandro and Bad Bunny at 99, and Voy a Levarte pa Puerto Rico at 100. Also from Bad Bunny, we got EO at 67. Then given some album impact, Call Me When You Break Up by Selena Gomez, Benny Blanco, and Gracie Abrams is back at 46.
You guys see that there was gonna be a Chainsmokers fucking Gracie Abrams collab? I'm actually so curious how that will sound,
By Aleman.
and if it could possibly like fucking revive the Chainsmokers career. Like surely like this is like their last chance to actually be successful again. You know, getting a Gracie Abrams collab. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it'll be able to do it. I don't know.
Shelton's back at 86. Are You Even
Who knows?
Real by Giveon and Teddy Swims is back again at 88. Little Things by LMA recovered to 90. Holy Smokes by Bailey Zimmerman is back at 93. Headlock by Imogen Heap returned to 95. And Push to Start by Tyla hit 96. But now on for our new arrivals. And speaking of Selena Gomez, number 97, Sunset Boulevard by Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. I mentioned this song is probably the best of the album in my review, but is it really saying much when the most memorable part of the song is the exuberant pre-chorus masquerading as a mediocre dick joke, while the entire song is an extended fantasy of Benny Blanco being crazy and running around naked on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood? I didn't know.
I mean, I can imagine that.
Exhibitionist streak. Even though I think her attempts
that dude is fucking crazy.
More than just a couple eye rolls. But it's still a pretty good pop song on raw construction. The soft-focused new disco with the scratchy groove and the gauzy synths has just enough polish to flatter Selena's touched-up vocals while still feeling a bit scrappy. Probably the best example of the fusion of their styles working, so yeah, you know what? Pretty damn good. I'll take it. Number 92, Friends Like That by John
not I
Morgan
really care for it.
Jason Aldean.
I didn't listen to the Selena album. I don't really care. I think Selena is a pretty mid pop star. And this is also mid.
I feel like the story
Unfortunately.
behind John Morgan might be a little more interesting than the song itself, where Morgan began a bluegrass
John
country
Morgan.
band before moving to Nashville and joining Jason Aldean's
This guy wanted to be
Room,
John Mayer and Morgan Wallen put
and then
together.
getting himself signed to Broken Bow and
Not even
pushing
close,
the
buddy.
solo version of the song in April
Don't even try to
2024,
be the
but
fucking
that
greatest of all time,
apparently
John Mayer. Don't even try to
so
touch
they
that guy.
reworked the song as
You'll
a
never be
duet
him.
with Jason Aldean, and here we are. And on some level, it might make sense to have an actual friend on the song amidst the sharper organic twang. With a slightly better groove, this sounds better than the average colorless Jason Aldean song, although it could afford to be a little bit warmer. But when you dig into the reality that this is post-breakup and he's getting drunk with his friends, or said friends being music and booze, maybe a bit more down-tempo melancholy could have worked here, especially when it doesn't seem like there's much light at the end of the tunnel and it's not like Aldean has a lot of chemistry with them. The better version of the song is Record Year by Eric Church from a better decade ago, where you could argue Eric Church is much more of a mess, but you can tell there's a scrap of joy
'Cause I'm too messy.
way, where this feels a bit more embittered. But you know what? Morgan's got a good voice and he's at least more expressive than Aldean, not difficult. So this just rises to generically competent rather than mediocre. I'll take that at least. Number 80, Something About a Woman by Thomas Rhett featuring Teddy Swims.
I wouldn't say it's bad though.
I'm a bit surprised it's not Jelly Roll on this instead of Teddy Swims on the remix, but maybe someone made the correct assessment that Jelly Roll is overexposed right now and Teddy Swims is easily as good, if not better, as a singer. So if this is going to be some lightweight country soul, I'm sure it'd be mostly fine. Honestly, a bit better than I expected. The drums and bass are sharply organic, the peeling guitars are a great backdrop to this sort of smolder balanced against the acoustic guitar.
Has Teddy Swims even done country before? Cause I know he's like more soul, like pop stuff. So has he done country, or is this like his first like country type shit?
trying to hop into his falsetto on the post-chorus is not impressive, Teddy Swims is more than equipped to just steal the entire song by the second verse, even alongside having pretty solid chemistry and interplay with Thomas Rhett on the bridge. If there is something that's going to hold this back, unsurprisingly, it's probably the content. Both these guys normally play themselves as in awe of a striking woman who pulls them along in her wake. And the writing is honestly too stock to venture outside.
Am I crazy, or is Mark looking a little buff in that shirt? A little bit.
I think I'm gonna take it. Number 71. How does it feel?
He's looking manly.
By Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco.
Boring.
You know, if you wanted songs with competent production, you could have pushed the very obvious Billie Eilish wannabes where Phineas was actually co-producing, not this limp Lana Del Rey wannabe that has outcharted so many better actual Lana Del Rey songs. And as someone who's got a rather tempestuous relationship with Lana Del Rey's music, it says a lot. But yeah, this isn't any good. Selena Gomez's vocals smothered in sloppy, scratched up pitch correction that doesn't match any of the fragmented attempts at opulence around the rickety guitar, utterly unconvincing to sell this sort of self-satisfied vamping to take down an ex who thought there was more of a connection post-relationship than there was, but she's clearly forgotten them. So why exactly are you featuring them as the main subject matter in a song? Well, I think it's just the performance that sinks it. Selena Gomez is just not convincing as the personality that can carry this sort of song. You need a level of intensity, not this sound, this quivering, not over it, all over the place. So again, not good. Next, number 70, This Town's Been Too Good to Us by Dylan Scott.
It's alright. Man, this whole week, Loki has just been like pretty mid, bro. I can't lie. Like, all this shit's been mid.
I'm not sure what it is over the past 7+ years that's caused me to curdle on Dylan Scott so aggressively. It's not like he's been remotely interesting beyond making C-list mainstream country that's got a few too many odd lyrical swerves to be likable, but not enough to make it precisely memorable. Maybe it's because I know dozens of other acts that could be doing way more with the space he's taking up on the Hot 100, but I can say that about any number of acts and any number of genres. But the title of this gave me a really bad feeling, not helped by discovering that it was first released back in June 2023. And listening to it, it's obvious why it took nearly 2 years to get this high. The painfully chintzy and fizzy drum machine.
Country is so weird, because like a lot of their songs that are just hitting the Hot 100 are fucking like 2-3 years old. It's really weird. Unless they're like fucking Morgan Wallen or Thomas Rhett or like one of the fucking big stars. You're gonna like debut pretty immediately. But
hideous Nashville synthetic filter. And when you got Scott's
like a lot of the B-list fucking country stars take like 2 years to debut. It's so weird. I genuinely don't understand it.
Sure, I get some level of nostalgia, but normally that comes with an organic sound palette, not something that Kane Brown would have rejected 6 years ago. So yeah, I'm not sure why this is getting a sudden push, but it sure as hell does not need one. It blows. Next, number 65, Mona Lisa by J-Hope.
So we're just doing $1 Million Baby. Okay. $1 Million Baby. Alright.
It looks like they're giving this J-Hope.
Bro thought he was Tommy Richmond.
I expected, especially
you do not want to be Tommy Richmond.
And it looks like
bro sold like 3K in a week. Oh my god. I can sell more in a week. Nah, I'm kidding.
Neptune's inspired, full of scratches,
still though,
and warping synths.
I don't even think it was like 3K. Maybe it was like 12K or like 10K. But still, bro, like his career has to be over.
Like what
Tommy Richmond is just
trying,
except
okay. Minus falsetto, and with J-Hope trying for Loverboy swagger that I don't think is sticking. Maybe it's the gang vocal sing-along at the end. Maybe it's how the attitude is a shade too polished. Maybe it's how this is so obviously and clumsily chasing 2000s trends but shrink rap for TikTok with the hook and single verse, where J-Hope sounds weirdly awkward with the rap verse. But the larger issue might just be the content. It's trying to hit the balance of describing this woman as hot like the Mona Lisa, where the allure was
Mona Lisa hot,
beauty, but the mystery behind the eyes, but also having her life together. which is attractive, but has the feel of barely stringing the punchlines together.
Is there like a consensus that Mona Lisa is attractive?
I mean, it's more awkward
I disagree.
but yeah, if his handlers expect this to work, they might be in for a rude awakening. All I'm saying. Number 59, Ojos Tristes by Selena Gomez.
He just pronounced the J, that's crazy.
Marias.
Ojos tristes. So, sad eyes. Let's see if I can decipher these lyrics. Let's see.
By Selena Gomez, Benny Blanco.
El muchacho de los ojos tristes. The man with the sad eyes.
And the Marias.
I'm living alone and I need love. I need you to hear me. Oh, I need you to see me. I need your soul, the soul that I need.
I do like the Marias.
Low-key, I cooked, no? I gotta cook a little bit. That's the Andre Spanish, too. Shout out Miss Dietrich, bro.
And it helps that the song's decent as a result. Granted, I think Selena Gomez might be the weakest part of this song. Her vocal mix feels weirdly slapdash against the gentle synth pulse compared to the more saturated pickup from Maria Zardoya, who even here sounds awkwardly filmy when the guitar comes in at the end, but who basically takes over the song from the first chorus on, where you see the cycle of a breakup with a boy with sad eyes that leads to a lot of direct romantic longing. I wouldn't say it goes beyond some lightweight melodrama, but it's at least mostly effective in that lane, so...
I don't think it's bad.
I'll take it.
It's better than the other Selena Gomez songs.
Just Us by Jack Harlow and Doja Cat.
Where's John Mayer? He's in this video. Where is he? I kind of like this. I mean, I don't think it's that good, but like, I like the melody. I think I like Doja's verse. I think the chorus could have used a little bit more writing, like, we gush in this bitch and we hush in this, huh? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No one knows what this guy's talking about, right? Can we like get some like real fucking lyrics in this shit? You know what I'm saying? I feel like the song would have been better, but no. We gush in this bitch. We mush. Like, what? Like, what the fuck are you saying? What does that even mean?
Anyone else thinks this kind of looks desperate? After 2024 and Lovin' On Me, I've had the feeling that the pop rap Jack Harlow pushed to the mainstream has had a rapidly diminishing shelf life. And teaming up with...
Well, yeah, because Jack Harlow didn't fucking take advantage of that huge-ass Lovin' On Me single that he had. I don't know why he didn't do that. Now he's just releasing, like, fucking freestyles and bullshit. I just don't understand. Like, he had a second chance with Lovin' On Me. Genuinely. He had a second chance, you know? First Class, you know, that first came out. That was huge. People were really expecting... Well, not like the greatest album, but they were expecting, you know, something at least salvageable. But Come Home, The Kids Miss You, people fucking hated that. Like, the only song that people kind of like was Dua Lipa. That was it. And with Lovin' On Me, it was kind of the same, you know, situation. You know, it was kind of, Lovin' On Me was kind of like First Class with the sample shit. Personally, do I like Lovin' On Me more than, I think I do like Lovin' On Me more than First Class. I thought Lovin' On Me was better than First Class, and then he just never released an album after Lovin' On Me, which I feel like kind of was a mistake, because he kind of had another chance to prove himself as, you know, actual, like, competent artist, you know, someone who could put out, you know, a couple of bangers, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine, this song, Just Us, was on an album with Lovin' On Me, you know? I feel like that would have made Just Us way huger, but now after a year, maybe a year and a half, where Jack Harlow's putting out these weird, like, fucking weird ass singles. Miss Johnson was shit, like fucking elevator music, and now he's putting out Just Us, which I don't mind, but I feel like this could have been like a little bit sooner. This could have been a little bit earlier, closer to Lovin' On Me, and possibly have a real album rollout. But I don't even know what he's doing now. Like, is he doing an album rollout? Like, I haven't seen any news about a Jack Harlow album. He's just been putting out singles and singles and singles. It has to be like a label thing, you know? It has to be. And it's weird because I don't know why they didn't take advantage of Lovin' On Me. That song was fucking huge. It has to be some label bullshit, most likely. Or Jack Harlow's just a lazy ass. Who knows?
Doja Cat for a collab that already seems to be landing badly has me thinking her time in the spotlight might be winding down faster as well. Granted, Jack Harlow does not avail
Doja Cat's
himself
fine.
well from the opening hook against the pitch-down shuffling sample that really needed some variation than a single loop running. It's well balanced, but do a little bit more with it. Come on. Mostly because nobody wants to hear about Zach and Cody on the hook alongside She Husky like mush mush when you're trying to come inside.
What'd I
girl.
say?
I'd make the Drake comparison for the umpteenth time, but if so, it's the version where even Drake's phoning in the dance track for the easy hit, and Jack Harlow doesn't even have that faint trace of swagger anymore. I'd say that Doja Cat saved this, but really, does she? Where she's trying to make an encounter with Jack Harlow sound enticing? And even then, I'm not sure that's fully the case, because by the end of the verse, she's outright dissing the fans who like this shit, which she herself calls bad music, but if you buy the stupid nonsense, why not mock you for it? Made all the more pronounced by the R&B references to Omarion and Music Soul Child, who at least made more sensual music than this. In other words, Jack Harlow sounds lifeless, and Doja Cat's taking the brown bag money and hates you for listening. Glad we're at least on the same page for acknowledging that.
I mean, yeah, hasn't she been saying this shit forever? Like, I fucking hate my fans, and like, people listen to my music are stupid.
In other words, Jack
She's
Harlow
literally been
sounds
saying that
lifeless,
for years
and
at this
Doja Cat's
point.
taking the brown bag money and
I don't
hates
understand
you
why
for
people still like
listening.
Doja
Glad
Cat
we're at least on
as
the
like
same page
a
for
person
acknowledging that this
in fucking
blows.
writing and shit. That's
Next,
stupid.
Number 17.
Like, just give us the music, Doja Cat. Like, nobody cares. Let's go.
I'm a Little Crazy
Goddamn.
by Morgan Wallen.
But yeah, we get it. You don't like your fans. Just put out the fucking album. Jesus Christ. Boring.
Alright, ending things off with 2 Morgan Wallen songs. Fun times when I'm on vacation, right? And am I the only one who is noticing how cynical some of these song titles are of these tracks that are given Morgan Wallen's lingering reputation? I'm the problem. I'm a little crazy. Very clearly set up to show self-awareness, only for him to slightly tilt the script to push accountability in any other direction. I recognize.
Wait, that's actually
but this song
weird.
is odd as
I never
hell.
noticed that.
It's organic and pretty well produced, largely an acoustic ballad with only subtle touches of groove. But the switch is, if Morgan Wallen's a little crazy, the world's insane. Now, on the one hand,
What?
yeah, the world can feel like it's spiraling.
Well, everybody knows that way.
I get that. But Wallen's brand of crazy is this weird.
Bro, that's like the same people who are like, yeah, that's like the same people who like say like, oh, we're on a floating rock. Like, what? That argument is just stupid. Like, you know, like, oh, bro, I just like someone's fucking on a murder charge and they're like, I only killed one person. There's 8 billion people on Earth. We're literally on a floating rock. Like, none of this matters. Like, what? Like, what is that comparison? Like just because like the world is crazy doesn't mean it gives you fucking a reason to also be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense.
He keeps a loaded gun by his bed and yells at his TV while he drinks lukewarm beer on
screaming, "What the fuck in my TV?"
House, but then one of those kids got abducted, so now he doesn't look so crazy, right? I mean, I didn't even have to.
Like what? Like, bro, that is so stupid. Like, oh yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, I only killed one guy, but Jeffrey Dahmer killed more than 10 people. So, like, I'm good, you know? Like, compared to that guy, like, I'm pretty much a saint. Like, what? You still killed somebody? Like, what? That doesn't mean that just doesn't make it any better.
Of course he did. But when you recognize
Hardy wrote this? I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Hardy co-wrote this because of course he did. But when you recognize that on the hook he calls himself a red letter rebel, coaxing all of this because it's from God when the devils come out of the full moon, there's just this ugly edge that won't acknowledge that this sort of antisocial nonsense often perpetuates the roots of the problem in the first place. Where he's right, the news isn't changing no matter what he yells at it, but there's no recognition of what the problems actually are. And why am I reminded more than a little of Am I the Only One by Aaron Lewis than I should be? Maybe it's because they both go for
what did I
somber,
just fucking
serious acoustic side
sing, bro?
Muscle. But Morgan Wallen is not middle-aged, he's younger than me. It sounds goddamn uncanny coming out of him. So yeah, I'm inclined to call this unpleasantly weird at best.
Yeah, they're screaming screaming at the TV. That's some fucking pandering to
just in case
older millennials and boomers and shit. Just shameless.
And there's always a couple
This one's not bad.
Okay,
I mean, I think I like him on fucking like very muffled like trap beats, like trap country beats, but very muffled, like barely even trap. Like you can't even fucking say that shit. Like I like him on those kind of beats instead of like the fucking boring ass acoustic shit. I don't know. Like very muffled. You could barely hear that shit.
Suggesting that this was the good one that dropped from Morgan Wallen this weekend. Look, I don't know. It's better, but I sure as hell wouldn't call it that good. Part of it is the somber production. With
none of these albums, like I mean, none of these singles. Like I'm someone who liked a lot of the singles that came from One Thing at a Time. I like Think About Me. I like One Thing at a Time. I like Last Night. I like all those songs. But really, a lot of the new singles he's been putting out have not been really up to par with the stuff that was on One Thing at a Time. Even though a lot of people don't like the singles off, people just don't like One Thing at a Time in general, right? But I like those singles, those 3 singles that I mentioned. But a lot, like I don't really care for Love Somebody. Smile as shit. That's boring as fuck. Just in Case is okay. Lies. It's I'm the Problem. Please stop. I'm a Little Crazy. Please stop. Just stop. Genuinely. Yeah, these singles have not been great.
Steel behind the brittle acoustic strums.
I feel like Just in Case is like the first song that actually like kind of hits for me a little bit, just a little bit. Like it's not on par with Last Night or
even if Wallen's
Think
voice
About
is
Me.
produced a little bit more cleanly, he sounds better. But there is something to the content where Wallen keeps trying to move on from this relationship, but a part of him has been reserved just in case for that opportunity comes back for him to get back with the sex. Which, okay, once again, I get it. He can sell wistfulness and the plea for something to come back around. I understand. But there are 2 factors that kind of taint it for me. The first being the reference to the one-night stands right from the first verse. Believable? Yeah, as a coping mechanism. But even with the downbeat framing, the dishonesty of the whole endeavor shows the only feelings Wallen really cares about are his own, certainly not any new partners. And that's only accentuated by the second factor, which is this presumptuousness on the second verse, with how he just knows this ex hasn't forgotten him or moved on. Right after
he always says that shit.
Being wishful
Are you thinking about me? Like what? What does got to talk about?
Wishful thinking was the punchline. Maybe would have worked better. Felt more grounded, mature, but it's clearly set up to feed Wallen's hopes of reconnection. And as such, okay, it's one of the better singles he's dropped thus far for this album.
But the bar is low.
Yeah. Or near his best. And I'm not looking forward to another overstuffed album with
37 songs. Yeah.
More of this.
37 songs.
But yeah, that's our week.
Fucking crazy.
Oh, what a mess. Worst is Easy, Just Us by
even Drake is not
the obnoxiousness of how
putting out 37 songs. Like Morgan is fucking insane.
It just beats out the disaster of production that is.
I mean, like country and hip hop are very rap, trap mostly, but like where like you can make like I feel like you can make a bunch of songs very quickly because of the content. The content doesn't have to be anything crazy. At least with Morgan Wallen, like not at least, no. With Morgan Wallen, a lot of his shit is just toxic relationship stuff. Like it's just like you could literally put into ChatGPT. Like he probably goes on Morgan Wallen for his song process. He goes on ChatGPT and he's like, okay, give me some lines about toxic relationships and all that type of stuff. Give me some fucking alcohol bars and maybe some fucking country bars, and then there you go. I'll make that into a song. Put a little fucking small country trap beat on the fucking mix, and there you go. That we can make 37 more of those. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like with trap also, like not to be that guy, but like women, drugs, money. Don't fucking say no, because I'm right. Like a lot of Lil Baby, Kodak Black, Young Thug, Future, same shit. Women, drugs, money. That's it. And maybe they have like a few songs on the album that have a different subject matter, but it's just kind of interlinked with the 3 other subjects that I was talking about before. And it's kind of the same. It's kind of how Morgan Wallen also does it. Like toxic relationships, drinking, God. There you go. That's a Morgan Wallen fucking song for you. There you go. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit.
This Town's Been Too Good to Us by Dylan Scott as a dishonorable mention. Best of the week? You know, I think it's actually Sunset Boulevard by Selena Gomez
Really?
and Benny Blanco. Goofy and clunky, but the hook is
Standards
just strong
are
enough to save
fucking
it. And I'll put it above
in hell.
Something About a Woman by Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims. Next week, well, I will be at home, and I hope
this is next week right here.
Songs than this. Stay tuned. But until then, I'm Mark. You're watching
Billboard Breakdown, affiliated with Spectrum Pulse. And I'll see you next time. Okay. What did you guys think of this week? I thought it was pretty fucking mid. A lot of Selena Gomez, which mid Selena Gomez, mid. Hey, I'm kind of a Just Us defender. I think the melody goes very hard, but a lot of the content is shit. It's like mush, gush. Like, shut the fuck up, Jack, please. Jesus Christ, like, Jack cannot go without one song saying some bullshit. Like, genuinely. Yeah. I don't know. Go subscribe to Billboard Breakdown. Go subscribe to Spectrum Pulse. Subscribe to me. Go follow my Twitter. Subscribe to my second channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.